Hi, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tech Exec Podcast, where I'll help you create teams worth leading, because life's too short to lead mediocre teams. As always, I'm your host, Aviv Ben-Yosef, consultant coach to tech execs worldwide, and our subject today is onboarding. I've been sort of onboarding in this new country for us, onboarding in Rome for the past month now, and we still keep being surprised about things. We keep having this fresh perspective, which means that there are a lot of things that locals here take for granted and for us are all brand new. And it comes at you in everything. Like when we go to the supermarket and we notice that things come in packages of different sizes than we're used to. For some reason, cheeses here don't have in actual cover you can reuse. It's a one-time foam you just pull off, and therefore I'm like, what? Are we supposed to eat everything in one sitting? Everything like that is all new to us. And even here, like next to me here, I've got, this is not alcohol. This is a local beverage called Kinodo that I'm getting fond of. And anything here is new. We keep trying things, we keep learning things. And I'm sure that as time passes, it's gonna slowly but surely become less so. We're gonna get used to a lot of things, which is exactly what you see when you onboard new people in your company. When they just start, they notice a lot of things. Some of them may just be because, it's a new place. Others, the surprise might mean that you're doing things differently than what others expect, and sometimes it's positive. We're doing things differently because we've found a better way of doing things. Other times, we might be doing things in a way that's maybe by now a bit outdated, maybe a way that's too cumbersome for what we actually are getting, and only people with a fresh set of eyes can realize it as quickly. And this is actually one of the reasons onboarding new people or moving people internally in our company can be so beneficial to ensuring that teams actually stay young and vibrant when it comes to their attitudes. I'm not talking about anyone's age. I'm talking about our ability to ensure that we're not stuck in a single place and keep on improving, keep trying new things, keep making small adjustments to ensure that things are always moving in a better direction. Now, what does that mean for you? First of all, I want you to think about whether you're utilizing the new people you are getting in your organization today to maximize insights. Are you telling them actively to list out things that surprise them, to be actively looking out for those moments where they caught by surprise and take note of them so they can talk to you about it, so you can ensure that it doesn't get lost? And if you don't have a lot of people onboarding, like many teams nowadays that are not hiring too fast, how can you sort of force yourself to look at things from this perspective, which is sometimes easier if you take the time to explain a bit what you're doing. I've had different episodes in the past about defaults, about guidelines. If you search those words, you're going to find episodes about it, which are about the concept that us as leaders can create a better organization by listing out what we do by default, the kind of stuff that doesn't require thinking, doesn't require get approval, a bit like what many companies mean when they say values but don't actually have any actionable values. But whatever it is for you, when you write those down, when you try to explain how you operate, what things are taken for granted in your organization, you might then become more attuned to the different things you've decided to do when you try to actually describe those. And when that happens, you're all of a sudden aware that, oh, actually, why are we doing it that way? Does it have to be that way? We haven't changed it in a while. Maybe we can have an experiment around this. And these sorts of little improvements can really help ensure that your team keeps improving, even if you don't have anyone external to onboard. But I will stress again an idea I mentioned earlier. If you can have any internal swapping, that's already good. That usually can generate a similar effect without having to have people join the company. So for example, if you can have people move between teams, when I become senior, it's not just that I'm now a senior engineer in this team, but also try to make people move within the organization from time to time, every couple of years or less so even, so that you start spreading knowledge across the team. It's not that once I got in a team, I'm there forever. And maybe if the group grows, I'm always adjacent to where I started. No, I much prefer have people from time to time, every role or two, move to a different part of the organization. So we ensure that we don't create these silos. It's just always the same people. Whenever someone new joins, the team sort of swallows them and makes them part of the entire thing. When you get these swappings, brain swappings happening regularly, it's not as easy to do because you get people who already know the company, already know a lot of things, who are respected. And when they're surprised, it's a lot less easy to just say, that's how we do things here. And it creates better intercommunication within the company because these people who just move teams can communicate good with their ex-team usually. And when that happens, it makes it a lot easier to start having these discussions about why are we doing things like that over here, but differently over there. Do we want to keep doing it like that? Maybe one of the teams can try copying the others, etc. So we want to have these conversations because those create healthy organizations, robust organizations that keep improving with time. And you as a leader need to make the time to think about these, to write your guidelines, to describe how you're operating, to ensure that you're always aware and attuned to what you're doing, what you're taking for granted, and might not be really granted. Things that you can actually change or improve, or again, that just might be your secret sauce. But if you don't realize it, then that advantage might go unused. If you realize that what you're doing is different and actually is good, I want you to double down on that. And again, without realizing it, you might not be able to do that. All of that today to talk about how you're onboarding and how you can force this fresh perspective of someone onboarding, even if you don't have anyone onboarding. And I'm sick of saying the word onboarding, so I think we're going to call this an episode. This is it for this week. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions or comments, my email's in the show notes. The link to my newsletter is also there, the best newsletter online for tech execs. And again, check out Blog with Aviv, my new offering, where you can have an in-depth session with me and others live once a month where we decide about one topic. And I usually have a survey for everyone subscribed so they can help choose what we're doing and submit questions in advance. And then we have an in-depth session about that. And that way you can invest in yourself and keep improving every month. Link in the show notes. All the details are there. I'll see you here next week. Ciao.